Hey, welcome to Frank's Favorite Foods, where I'm always cooking up a good time. This is the channel where I teach you how to make restaurant quality food at home. When my mom got a craving, she called it getting a taste for something. Well, I've had a taste for a meatball sub. Definitely one of my top 10 favorite sandwiches of all time. It hits a spot that another sandwich cannot. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that now. Hit that little bell, that's the notifications button. That way you won't miss any upcoming episodes. My meatball recipe is half my grandmother's and half traditional Italian, so no hating, please. To 1 pound of lean ground beef, I'll add 1 scrambled egg, 1/3 of a cup of minced onion, and a 1/4 cup of minced bell pepper. Plain breadcrumbs, 1/3 a cup. 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. 1 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. 1 teaspoon onion powder. 1 teaspoon black pepper. And a 1/4 cup tomato puree. Guys, I love my new global knives. If you're looking for some knives that won't break the bank, check these out. I'll leave a link below. I'm adding about a 1/4 cup of freshly chopped parsley and 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning. Take your time, use your hands, and mix these ingredients thoroughly. Some of you know that I partnered with a few friends in a little Italian restaurant called the Twisted Noodle in Key West in the early 90s. FYI, I'm making 5 nice-sized meatballs. I don't want to have to be searching for the meat in my meatball sub. I'm going to use a fair amount of olive oil. I think it's important to fry the meatballs. You want to get a little crust on the outside to hold the moisture in. Preparing this meal, in particular the red sauce, really reminded me of my time in Key West. In particular, one Fantasy Fest weekend when we decided to sell chicken Parmesan sandwiches. But who was I to know that after an hour and a half in the marinara sauce, a breaded chicken breast would take on the consistency of a Converse tennis shoe? Or that by 2 in the afternoon, my good friend Dave would be so drunk he'd be trying to make a baby with one of the gumbo lumbo trees in the patio of the restaurant. Good times, but I digress. Let's get back to these meatballs. Pay attention to the temperature of the oil. Because of the size of these meatballs, they're going to need to cook a while. So you're going to need to turn them a few times. Total cooking time for these meatballs was 15 to 20 minutes. To begin the sauce, saute 1/3 cup minced onion and 2 tablespoons of minced garlic in 1/3 cup of the oil from the meatballs. As soon as the garlic and onion are tender, add the pureed tomato. Add a tablespoon of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of black pepper. The last ingredient is a 1/4 cup of freshly torn basil leaves. Recently, I've been too lazy to make my own red sauce, but this stuff turned out to be fantastic. I've forgotten how good homemade red sauce was and how easy it really is to make. The lazy thing is actually eating that crappy jarred sauce. I'm going to put the meatballs back in the sauce for a few minutes just before serving. I don't want them to get hard and rubbery. I learned my lesson with the chicken Parmesan. I like a nice soft roll for my sandwich. I'm going to toast it so that it's warm and crispy, but not hard and brittle. I'm going to slice the roll without going all the way through. And then I'm just going to remove a little bit of the dough from the top so that my meatballs fit in there comfortably. My cheeses of choice are provolone and Parmesan. I really like how those 2 salty, full-flavored cheeses work with meatballs. All right, put your balls in there. Of course I did. A little Parmesan cheese, a little more sauce, pop it into a 350-degree oven just to melt the cheese, and voila! FYI, this meal was an overwhelming success. My daughter says best meatball ever, and my love for homemade red sauce has been rekindled. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, you should be. Hit that red button and that little bell. That way you'll be notified every time I put out a video. I know how valuable your time is, so thank you for sharing a little bit of it with me. If you love this video, hit the like button and share it with a friend. I'll see you in the next video.